What happened in Miss Universe India 2024? I had a roller coaster of emotions
Go ahead. Pooja, what is this behavior?
as it was a long 5 hours beauty pageant from the starting to the diabolical crowning moment by Urvashi as she was hesitating to move aside and give the platform and the opportunity as she was holding back Rhea to enjoy her moment after the crowning session. I felt bad for the first runner-up as she was waiting to receive her sash, crown and the bouquet from the delusional queen. So there are many questions, not enough answers. Starting the opening number where all the 50 contestants performed in When I Grow Up by Dolls, which was a fantastic way to start off the event. They all look so beautiful in the same green dress. I really enjoyed watching the opening scene as they all look so beautiful in the same green dress. It was a fantastic way to start off the event, especially the walk, the dance routine, which they were doing this. They said the crown is mine. I thought that was really fabulous. I just found out that the hosts were not Indian, they were international people, one from the Philippines, the next from the Vietnam. The guy was from Philippines, his name is Lance Raimundo, who's actually he did a decent job of hosting since he has to carry the weight of the female host who did a really terrible job as she was making so many mistakes and errors during the announcement, and also there were some technical issues regarding her microphone.
That was wow.
Indian people are known for their communication skills, their confidence. So India has three Indian Miss Universe winners, Sushmita Sen, Lara Dutta, and Hanasko recently. Any of them would have made a fantastic. So for me, it didn't make sense that the Miss Universe India, which is supposed to be a spectacular, extravagant, big event, as the host said, the best beauty pageant in India, were lacking a lot in the hosting skills. They had very poor time management despite having good production. The overall show was dragging on for way too long. I thought it was not necessary to have a 5 hours competition. No one has 5 hours to watch a beauty pageant on a Sunday night, especially when you have to go to work the next morning or you have to go to school the next morning and Monday. No one has time for that. So I think if they have just limited it to 2 hours, which is a standard time for a beauty pageant, maybe 3 hours if they just really wanted to make it a bit long, but more than 3 hours is so not necessary. So the 5 hours, it just felt like they were dragging on for too long. I do not understand why all the contestants paraded in the swimsuit round. There is a reason we have a preliminary competition where all contestants perform in national costume, swimsuit, and the evening gown competition. So for me, it was really unnecessary to have so many girls on the stage once again. I think if they had just had the top 20 announcement, then let the top 20 perform in the swimsuit competition. The design of the swimsuit looked really tacky and really cheap. I didn't like any of them. The gold one was the most decent one out of the group because it was the most pageant swimsuit that we usually see in a pageant. They kept playing the preliminary competition clips during the commercial break, which really made me so much confused. There was a lot of confusion in me since I was going to the bathroom, I was going to the kitchen, preparing some snacks because it was midnight when I was watching the competition. So for me, I wish they just had commercials from the sponsors visiting the host city, which they were there for I think 2 weeks, I believe. Why not just show that? I think that would have been much more better. They had five panel of judges with international judges coming from one from Vietnam, who was the CEO of the Miss Tourism World Vietnam, Filipino fashion designer Rian Fernandez, also part of the panel of judges, and I was really happy to see him because he's so creative, so talented, and I love his evening gowns. You can see on the screen, these are some of the evening gowns he made for beauty queens, and they are fabulous, so intricate with that little details, and it's just pure perfection. Nikhil, and we had another. There was like one guy, and the last one was Urvashi, the Miss Universe India 2015. I did not understand why they only had five judges. If they had just 10 judges, it would have been more sufficient and more organized since they were doing Q&A for the top 10 finalists. I would have really preferred to see the former Miss Universe winners from India like Shushmita Sen, Lara Dutta, and Hanas. They understand the standard of contestant that they expect from a Miss Universe competition. I think it was a missed opportunity because they were doing really good in terms of production, but the other things were really lacking through the new leadership of the Miss Universe India. Let's talk about the top 20. And I was so shocked not to see number 45, Shivali Patel, who was a former Miss Supranational USA, and number 18, Janvi from Manipur. Those were two girls who I thought deserved spots in the top 20 as they did a fantastic performance in the preliminary competition. And they had an excellent communication skills that I noticed watching the introduction video. I was confused why they were excluded from the top 20 despite being an outstanding contestants, as there were plenty of random selection in the semi-finalists. Congratulations to my friend Melvin for winning the best national costume by the judges, which was worn by contestant number 16, Chavi, who was my sentimental favorite. So I'll talk more about her in the upcoming minute. I was really happy that the national costume that she wore, which was my personal favorite, won the best national costume. So big congratulations to you, Mel. And I cannot wait to see this national costume in an international pageant. Hopefully Miss Universe, if not, then Miss Grand and other international pageants too, because you're so sending you all my love and support to you, Mel. As Beauty with Purpose is part of the Miss World competitions, I think if they wanted to include a humanitarian social work, they could have just given the subtitle called Social Impact Leader, which was the one by Miss Philippines, Michelle D. So if they wanted to do that, I think they should have changed the title, because it didn't make sense to have Beauty with Purpose in a Miss Universe national pageant. This felt like Urvashi's show, as she had more screen time than the contestants. I do not understand why she had a special treatment. As she got so much spotlight, she even had the moment to give a speech. Meanwhile, the reigning Miss Universe India, Shweta Shraddha, was missing. I don't know where she was. I don't know if it was because she was from a previous leadership, different company. I don't know if that was the reason, but this should have been Shweta's moment before she crowns her successor. And I will be honest, I did mute when she was giving her speech, so about like 5-10 minutes. I didn't really listen to the live stream. The top 20 changed the evening gowns by Mintu Couture. From the evening gown competition, I really liked number 7, Anuba's performance. She did a lot better. The gown was so much better in the preliminary competition, but she still gave a good presentation. Number 10, her gown reminds me of Shanice Palacios. Her final gown, the color palette is exact the same, silver with a hint of blue with a cape. And the hairstyle also reminded me so much of the reigning Miss Universe 2023. There's something about her that was just giving me, maybe it's inspired by the queen herself from Nicaragua. So I felt like I saw like an Indian Shanice Palacio last night. Number 16, Chavi, very demure, very mindful, very classy. I really love this silver evening gown that she wore. She looks beautiful. I also really like this styling. The hair and makeup was much more slick and more professional in comparison to what she had, the big puffy hair that she had for the preliminary competition, which I did not enjoy. Number 17, Daisy. I was not a big fan of the evening gown that she changed into, because I thought her previous evening gown was much more iconic, intricate, it was more elaborate, it was more over the top, and also it helped her stand out. For me, this gown was much more subtle, which I don't think was a good choice, because it's a final, so you really have to stand out in the group. However, she was consistent. Her performance, her energy was incredibly beautiful. Number 34, Pranjal had won 3 subtitles. So she won Top Model, Best in Swimsuit, and Best Ramp Work. She is the tallest contestant, standing at 179 centimeters. She has a fantastic body. She's so tall, long limbs. She looked the tallest when they announced the top 10 finalists. Due to her statuesque body, she was gliding on the runway, and it was a graceful presentation. Number 36, Rhea looks beautiful in her silver dress with a pastel pink cape. Because she's the youngest contestant in this year's batch, I felt the youthful, fresh take when she was gliding down the evening gown competition. So I thought she looked beautiful, and the color also really suits her. I was getting more Miss World than Miss Universe vibe looking at the presentation, but regardless, I think she did a fabulous job. 39, Rupafusa Wisso. She looked spectacular in the silver and blue dress. Her skin was glowing under the stage lights, and she was glimmering, sparkling. I just loved I don't know if it was the body makeup, but she was just glowing. Her skin looks so stunning on the stage. She also reminds me of Miss Japan from the 2000s, when they used to place in the Miss Universe top 5 finalists. Number 42, Sanjana. Her facial beauty is breathtaking, and I love the close-up shot. But when they showed the full dress, the bottom part did not match with the embroidery detailed bodice that she had on the top, so it felt very unbalanced. Number 47, Shushmita, was one of my pre-favorites after watching the preliminary competition evening gown, and I wish she had worn the same gown with the long sleeve, asymmetrical neckline, with long cape. I think that was just a wow standout evening gown. I wish she had just wore that, because the new red gown, even though it is, yes, it's beautiful, it was a standard pageant gown. There was nothing spectacularly unique about it. Despite that, she did look beautiful, and she had a sincere smile, and that's what matters, right? I think she has one of the most beautiful smiles. And the last one is number 49, Tejashwani. She is so incredible. I think this pink gown really made her skin tone pop out as she has a beautiful brown skin. I was really impressed with the confidence and the way she carried herself in this dress. It was a magical moment which made me even more upset when she did not advance to the next top 10 finalist. What happened? Because she gave a great performance in the top 20. So I thought, okay, she will make it to the next round. I was really sad not to see number 7 Anubha and number 49 Tejoshwani. I think those two should have made to the top 5 finalists as it felt like the organization kept removing stronger contestants as they were narrowing it down to the final moments. So I don't know if it's just my conspiracy theory or it's just that's true, but I think these two should have made at least the top 10. Now talking about the Q&A, they only had one Q&A which I was really surprised with because Indian beauty queens, they are known for their public speaking skills. They always have great answers. So I thought there would be much more Q&As or at least some kind of interview or conversational going on with the host. So there was none of that. So they only had one Q&A, which was for the top 10 finalists. First one is number 16, Shavi. Her question was, what is your personal definition of beauty and how do you believe it? It differs from societal standards. I loved how she managed to make this answer personable and relatable to her as a person, since she also has a darker skin according to the Indian beauty standards. Express herself while advocating about the importance of representation for dark-skinned girls, and she wants to embrace her brown skin tone while celebrating different types of beauties and not trying to fit into the society's narrow beauty standards. After listening to her answer, I thought, okay, I think Shabby got it in the bag. I think this is going to be a moment for her to win the Miss Universe India crown. That's how I felt after listening to her answer. It was really sincere, relatable to many people, and I thought it came from her heart, which is really important. So Daisy's question was, how do you approach the challenges of reducing plastic waste in India? She mentioned that the Indian children are focused more on the education and receiving higher marks instead of being practical about reducing plastic waste. To act on this issue rather than just learn about waste management through books, she started with a really good point about the problem, and she also provided a sustainable solution to reduce plastic waste in India. So I think Daisy gave a really good answer. Listen to the question. I think she was able to really tackle the issue, the root cause, which is people are just careless. And I think we need to not only educate them, but also help them implement into action. I thought, why did she not make further than just the top 10? Because the answer had great context, great confidence, and I would say her speaking skills is on point. Number 36, Rhea. The question was, if you could have a dinner with any historical figure, who would it be and why? I like how she managed to incorporate her national costume alongside the social advocacy where she provides leadership skill to young people to be able to express themselves freely. It will help them to find better job opportunities to be financially stable. She was one of the few contestants who gave a concrete answer with a good solution, so I thought she did a really good job with her Q&A. Number 39, Rufu from Nagaland. Her question was, what challenges do women in India face today and what steps can be taken to empower them? She gave an honest answer that came from her heart as this question is so relevant right now. Her answer felt really honest, sincere, and from the heart. It didn't feel like she just wanted to say the answer. It felt like she meant those words. And I think that's how you become a successful beauty queen. You don't just say it for the sake of saying it. You need to mean those words. And for me, that's what I got from Miss Nagaland. If the judgment was based on the top 10 answers, then I think Miss Nagaland deserves to be in the top 3 because for me, she gave one of the best answers and she did not deserve to be the 4th runner-up. They announced the top 5 and Daisy did not make it to the top 5. As a pageant commentator, what I've noticed is that Daisy, alongside other Northeastern ladies, were getting a bit more underrated by the judges. I don't know if it's just this year or before too, but I think 2 of them should have been in the top 5, one being Miss Nagaland and the second being Daisy. So I don't know why she was not part of the top 5 finalists because I thought overall she gave an outstanding performance which was worthy to place in the final round. And I would have loved to listen to her final question and answer. So yeah, I was quite disappointed that Daisy didn't make the next round. Urvashi wearing the new Miss Universe India crown inspired by Taj Mahal. It was so unprofessional since she was not the reigning queen. She wanted all the attention in Urvashi instead of giving that spotlight to the top five finalists, as this was the moment to announce the winner of Miss Universe India. So I don't know why she's doing this. It just felt so obnoxious, very self centered, and actually really arrogant to not let other people have the moment. Final placement was crazy. Honestly, I just so disagree with the final placement, but here we go. Fourth runner-up was Miss Nagaland, Rufozo Wiso, which I think she should have been in top three. Okay, I completely disagree with this placement. Then we have third runner-up, which was Shushmita Roy, which I think she should have been fourth runner-up, but hey. Then we have second runner-up. My jaw dropped. My jaw dropped when they announced the second runner-up. I was expecting it to be the tall one. I was expecting it to be someone else. But the moment the host said number 16, my jaw literally went, oh, it literally dropped to the floor. And I thought, what? Like, WTF? Like, how the hell is Chevy, who is a runner-up at the Miss USA pageant? It is one of the best national pageants out there with diverse contestants from so many different backgrounds. It is probably one of the most competitive Miss Universe national pageant, and the fact that she competed there and she was a runner-up, that showcases her potential, that she has a special quality to compete in the Miss Universe competition. So for her to come to her homeland in India, and I thought, okay, this will be the moment that she could finally compete at the Miss Universe competition after 7 years, right? She competed back in 2017. So I thought, okay, this is a moment for Chabi to finally have this moment, this opportunity to compete at the international stage of Miss Universe. It felt that they just wanted to use her popularity because she is one of the most famous contestants, but they didn't want to give her the crown since she is an NRI, non-residential Indian, so she lives abroad. It felt quite unfair, and I was really devastated to see the results, especially the second runner-up and the fourth runner-up. I thought it was just really unfair to these two girls because they did a phenomenal job, and they should have been at least the top three for Miss Nagaland and holding hands for Chevy. So I just completely disagree with the judgment of the judges, and sorry to say it, I put my hands out. Like, not every judge is correct, and I feel that this was a moment that they could have really used this opportunity, since they had new leadership, to crown a woman who is ready to compete at the Miss Universe competition. If Chevy was representing India at the Miss Universe competition in Mexico, she had a high chance to win the fourth Miss Universe crown for India. Unfortunately, I don't see India winning the Miss Universe crown this year in Mexico because the batch for Miss Universe competition is extremely strong. As we all know, that Latin America is always consistently sending incredibly talented and beautiful, stunning ladies. Of course, from Asia, we have Thailand, we have Philippines. From Europe, they're sending spectacular contestants to the Miss Universe competition. So I think India, they will place, but I don't know about winning the crown, at least for this year. Now, talking about the top two holding hands, we had number 34 and number 36 holding hands. Miss Universe India 2024 is Rhea Singha, and the first runner-up is Pranjal. The crowning moment was a complete disaster. It was a mess because Urvashi was holding back Rhea as she was trying to do her victory walk. It felt so uncomfortable for me, and it was so unprofessional and so self-centered because from a judge who did not even place in the Miss Universe competition, she had the audacity to hold back Rhea from doing her victory walk. Let the girl live. She is happy. This is a moment to shine. Why are you holding her? I just didn't understand this despicable attitude from a judge. Like, how could he do that? So for me, and also the fact that the host kept saying, okay, madam, you have to go back and give the sash, the crown, the bouquet, and the trophy to the first runner-up, who were just waiting for her moment. So I feel really bad for the first runner-up too. So the top five can do the group photo shoot, and this should be the last year with the leadership of Glamourned for the Miss Universe India, because I think Miss Diva, especially Femina Miss India, has done a way more superior job of organizing the beauty pageant, as they have handled it with such prestige and professionalism. And I've never seen such a mess, such a disaster happening at a live pageant, especially coming from India, as they are known for the luxury, the grand and beautifulness. And I just felt it was a lot of things missing. And this was my review of Miss Universe India 2024. What do you guys think? Do you agree or do you disagree with me? Do let me know in the comment section. I had a lot of things I wanted to get out of my chest because I just woke up and just kind of wanted to process and let you guys know what I thought about the competition. Congratulations to the winner. I think she did a really good job. And also communication skills is quite good, that she presented in a really nice, calmly manner while also talking about social causes, especially her social advocacy. So I was really impressed with her answer. So I wish her all the best when she competes in Miss Universe competition in Mexico. If you enjoyed watching this video, then make sure to click the like button, click the red subscribe button to see more videos like this. There'll be more podcasts, more reviews, videos like this coming from this YouTube channel. And if you want to see more content, like short form content, then you can follow me on Instagram at the rate Pageant Empress, which you can see on the screen. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you guys once again in my next video. Say bye bye.